Hi, I'm Linda and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making farro. And farro, I say farro, whatever you want to call it, far off into a distant land of Italy. This is an amazing grain. It says the traditional grain of the Mediterranean. So it's really, you know, it's kind of like quinoa or couscous. It's, you know, kind of in that same sort of family, or rice, but it's nutty and it's grainy and it's just absolutely delicious, and it's kind of become one of our staples and our favorites. So what I have here is the farro, and what I did was I'm making actually 3 cups of farro, and you'll do like 3 and 3. So I actually have a recipe for this on my website, so you can check out Zia Linda, or actually I have one on Enjoying the Journey, but we'll put a link at the bottom of this video, and then you'll be able to go and you'll be able to get the recipe. I'm not good at measurements, so I don't want to get caught up in all of that while I'm showing you how to make the dish, because to me what's important is making the dish and putting in what you want to put in, because this is something that you can make your own and put in whatever you want. But with regards to the farro, let's get back to that. What you want to do when it comes out of the bag is you want to you take whatever amount you're going to cook, and you want to take it and put it in some water. Some people might soak it overnight in water. You may want to soak it just for a few hours. What I would do, and what I do, is I take it, I put it in a little bowl, like a measuring cup like this. I fill with water, mix it up with my hands, empty out the water. I might do that 4 or 5 times until the water stops turning kind of milky. And then I let it sit. And I might let it sit for a couple of hours. I might let it sit for half an hour. I might even let it sit for overnight. Typically, I don't do that. Typically, it's a couple of hour thing. So this has been sitting. I've drained it, and now I have water boiling. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my farro in to start, and I've already salted the water, because you definitely want to salt your water. And I'm going to put my farro in to start cooking. And then I'm going to get together all the other ingredients that are going to go in it. And this is just one of those dishes you can totally make your own. Put in whatever you like. There's a million recipes on the web for farro. All different kinds, and you know, you can add all kinds of different flavors, you know, flavor profiles to do whatever it is that you want to do. We just love it. And I'm on the 21-day fix, and so I have mostly stayed away now from the, you know me, I'm a big pasta bread eater, and I've lost 30 pounds so far on the fix. And I'm still eating all those wonderful things that I love, just now with moderation and with a lot more balance than I ever did before. And I'm introducing all kinds of really good and healthy things into our diet, so it's supplementing it. And farro is one of those things that when I'm eating it, it's just rich and delicious. I don't feel like I'm eating something really healthy. I know that I am, but it tastes delicious, and it reminds me almost of pastina. So if you're familiar with pastina, which is it's a pasta, and as Italians we usually feed it to babies. So let's get back to the farro now. So what I did was, and what I'm adding to my farro is we have a little herb garden out back, and so I have some nice fresh parsley that I'm going to give a little chop to. We also are growing some of our own grape tomatoes, and I took the grape tomatoes and I actually just cut them just because I wanted something a little different. So you really want to be really careful how you do that. But I cut them in thirds, so they're little rounds. And then we had some heirloom tomatoes that we picked up at the market, and I'm just cutting those in half because I want a little bit of color in my salad. We're going to add some fresh scallions that we got from the farm that's not far down the road from us, and provides us with amazingly delicious produce all summer long. And I'm probably going to put only a half of this bell pepper, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do because I'm going to put it all together. And we're going to put some garlic, some red onion, a little bit of olive oil is going to go in here, and some balsamic, but we're going to dress it later. And then these are Kalamata olives, and all I did was I cut them in half. So I'm going to start now with my scallions, and we're going to get rid of the base of this. I'm only going to use a couple of these because we do have plenty of onion with our red onions. And I'm going to take off the top. You can actually, I do have chives growing in the back, and I didn't cut them and bring them in, but we're going to take a break in a little bit. And when we do, I'm going to go and get those, because we're going to have to let that farro cook, because I want to show you what it's like when it's time to assemble it. So here's our chives. Now we're having a little luncheon today with some friends, and so I am making this as one of the side dishes. So I'm using one of my little summertime dishes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the ingredients that are going to go into the farro into this little dish. And it's going to start to smell divine. And you want to keep those things from going everywhere. And actually, usually I cut them at a diagonal. I don't know why I didn't do that this time. We'll do the last half that way. How's that? And we do want to get some of the tops, because that's just like the chives. It does have such a nice range of flavor. Now what I love about this dish too, here we go, get rid of those big ones and put this right in here, is that, you know, whatever you have left over for the week when we do our meals for the fix, it's so simple and easy. Just get a little yellow container and fill that up, and there's my carbs. So I'm going to put the tomatoes all in here. So those are going to go in there. And it actually doesn't look pretty. Just look at the colors of that. Just looks so nice. And we have some nice parsley, which is fresh from our little garden. And I'm going to give that just a little chop. There we go. Put that right in there. We're just building flavors. I've already chopped these, so I'm going to throw those in. I'll put that aside. And I'm going to do this. This I want not too fine, but I don't want really big chunks. Now, what I've done in the past, I've also, if you have a Mediterranean or a Lebanese bakery near you that has, you know, other things like hummus and tabbouleh, which is this wonderful, it's parsley and they put bulgur wheat in it, and red onion and tomato. It's delicious. I've actually taken a couple of spoonfuls of tabbouleh and I've mixed it in just for that added flavor, because that's mixed with a little bit of lemon juice, and it's just so delicious. Like I said, you could do anything you want. You could make this really savory, like what we're doing now. You could also sweeten it up if you wanted to add, you know, some, make it a whole different flavor profile with some apples and some cranberries, or, you know, dried sour cherries. There's all kinds of different things that you could do. And then add some really nice herbs in with that. That would be delightful. Just use your imagination. In the kitchen, you know, especially when it, like, I know I've been preparing to start another round, my third round of the fix tomorrow. And there's a lot of prep that goes to it. And sometimes we have time, and sometimes we don't have time. This is one of those things where it's a great meal if you're making it for your family, and then you have it as a leftover, and it's healthy, and you can add it to your diet during the week. And that's really what I try to do. I try to make things that we're going to be able to use as leftovers for the week when I do my prepping, because you really do, you know, in order to, if you are in a food program and you're really trying to lose weight. I really started the fix not because I wanted to lose weight and I needed to lose weight. I started it because it was a medical issue for me with my diabetes and with my high cholesterol, and things were just escalating, and my doctor was, you know, yelling at me for more medications, and I didn't really want to go there. And so I realized I needed to make a change, and that change for me actually started with Shakeology. And my husband and I love Shakeology because we were doing our own shakes. By the way, what I'm doing here with this is going to be for the week. At some point during the week, I will chop this up and maybe take it to part of my lunch with some hummus, or put it in a salad. There's some great tips out there about mason jar salads and doing the overnight oatmeal and stuff. So I think I'm going to be doing some videos on that too at some point. But anyway, this is going to be saved for me for later. And then I'm not going to be using that onion. And again, this, during the week, it's all ready to go. It's already, the peel is already peeled off, so it'll go in the fridge. And then I can add it to whatever else I'm making. So what I'm going to do now is the garlic, because garlic really gives this a really nice flavor. Now, a lot of recipes I don't, depending upon the marinade or what I'm doing, but I don't always chop the garlic really fine. But in this one, it doesn't want to need to be that fine, but I definitely want to chop it up. And I think that's enough. I took out 3, but I think 2 is going to be more than enough here. You don't want to overpower it with garlic flavor. But I'm trying to stay away also from adding the garlic salts and the things that have some preservatives in them. I just really am preferring to go all natural these days. Organic if we can, and when we can, we do. And just use fresh, natural ingredients. I think things always taste best. And I think that that's perfect. Now the aroma in here is really awesome. Of course, it gets kicked up a notch every time you dig into a clove of garlic. So I think for the moment, I have my base for my farro all set. We're going to be adding some salt, sea salt, and a little olive oil and some balsamic vinegar in a little bit. But for now, the farro needs to cook, and then when it cooks, we'll come back and I'll show you how I put it all together. Thanks. Hello, welcome back. The farro has now cooked. And I've drained it and put it in a little container, and it's cooled down just a little bit. We have all of those delicious veggies and herbs that we had kind of put together here. And so now all I'm going to do is add the 2. Oh, and the smell when this starts to marry is amazing. Now, I like to mix it. You could let the farro cool down a little more. I like it warm like this because I think it just brings out the flavors even more. And it kind of almost, not that it cooks that garlic, but the heat, I think, releases even more of the flavor and the sweetness of the garlic, because sweetened garlic can sometimes be a little bitter. So now that I've kind of mixed everything all up, and what I didn't do was get those chives, but I'm going to be adding that as like the last measure here. So, I do want to put a little salt. We definitely need a little salt. And we want a little bit of pepper. Alrighty. Now, I don't measure, but for you, I'm going to measure. Usually I just do I actually make the sign of a cross with the olive oil. But I'm going to actually measure. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, because I think that's going to be enough. It may need a touch more, but we'll see. And then I'm going to actually go with 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. And we're going to see, actually that's not going to be enough. So I'll tell you that right now, we're going to go with 1/2 cup of balsamic. There. Now I'm going to mix this up and we're going to see how that works. And again, it's all to your taste. It's whatever you like. That's what cooking's all about. It's very personal. Oh, you can smell the balsamic vinegar. Now, I'll tell you a little trick to make balsamic really sweet. You could take that vinegar, you put it on a pan, but you got to watch it on the stove, and you cook it down and reduce it till it gets that nice syrupy, and that would add a nice sweetness to this. I did not do that, not with this recipe, or not with cooking it, making it this time. So here we go. I'm going to give it a taste now, because this is how we're going to find out what else we need to add. Oh my goodness, that is so good. I can't double dip with this. Definitely could use a little more salt. So we're definitely going to put a little bit of that. Plenty of balsamic vinegar. That's perfect. And I think I'm going to use just a little touch more of oil. That's about it. Mix this up. And I think we have us a perfect summer farro salad. I'm going to go out into our little garden. I'm going to get some fresh chives. I'm going to chop them up and I'm going to finish them off. And this, simple, easy, perfect for summer, and healthy. Have a great day.